In the headlines, National Broadcasting Commission fines Trust TV 5 million naira for airing documentary on banditry. NRC suspends train services on Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Ajaokuta routes due to insecurity. Adamawa Governor Amadou Fintiri picks female professor as running mate for 2023 election. And on the foreign news, U.S. Speaker Pelosi leaves Taiwan after controversial visit. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Nten Ekbang. And on the news in detail, the National Broadcasting Commission, the NBC, has imposed a fine of 5 million naira on Trust TV network over the broadcast of the documentary titled Nigeria's Banditry, The Inside Story, which was aired by the station on the 5th of March 2022. The NBC, in a letter to Trust TV dated August 3, 2022, and signed by its Director General Balarabe Shehu Ilela, said the fine was imposed on Trust TV because it broadcast of the said documentary contravened sections of the National Broadcasting Code. A statement by Trust TV's management says while it is currently studying the Commission's action and weighing options, it wishes to state unequivocally that as a television station, it believes it acted in the public interest by shedding light on the thorny issue of banditry and how it is affecting millions of citizens in the country. The documentary, according to the statement, traces the roots of the communal tensions and systemic inequalities which led to the armed conflict that is setting the stage for another grand humanitarian crisis in Nigeria. It maintained that the documentary presents insight into the intersections of injustice, ethnicity, and bad governance as drivers of the conflict, while aggregating voices of experts and key actors towards finding solutions, including those of the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, Senator Seidu Mohammed Dan Sado, who hails from one of the worst hit communities in Zamfara State. The experts who featured in the documentary, the statement said, include scholars like Professor Abubakar Sadiq of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria and Dr. Murtala Ahmed Rufai of the Usman Dan Fodio University Sokoto, who have both studied the subject of banditry for a long period. The Nigerian Railway Corporation, the NRC, has suspended train services on the Lagos-Abuja and Ajaokuta routes over safety concerns. The managing director of the NRC, Fidet Okuria, who confirmed these on Wednesday, said the decision followed a report of an attempted kidnapping of passengers that left the Ajaokuta station by road on their way to Abuja. According to him, the passengers and their vehicles were shot at in the process, but they escaped from the attackers. Okuria explained that the passengers have been advised to use any of the adjacent stations in Itakpe North or Itogbo South until the security situation in the area improves. The NRC MD said the Warri-Itakpe train service is still on as the train left Warri Wednesday morning on its way to Itakpe. The Nigerian Air Force, NAV, has launched an offensive operation christened Operation Show No Mercy against terrorists disturbing the peace of the country through various attacks. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Olatayo Amao, while launching the operation at a meeting with NAV operational commanders in the various theaters of operation, charged the senior air troops of the force to ensure that they employ maximum firepower against the terrorists. According to a statement issued on Wednesday by the spokesman of the force, Edward Gabuet, those the air chief met at NAF base in Kaduna on Tuesday include frontline air officers, commanding, and air component commanders. Amao said also that offensive operations against the adversaries will deny the terrorists freedom of movement, adding that it will also boost the confidence of the populace and ensure a peaceful country. Governor Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State has picked a female professor Kaletepwa Ferauta as his running mate for the 2023 elections. Speaking at the unveiling ceremony in Yola on Wednesday, Fintiri said the professor was selected based on her honesty, integrity, transparency, and hard work. He said she is expected to discharge her responsibilities with due diligence and fear of God, in addition to her motherly role of keeping the home. Governor Fintiri urged the opposition parties to join his administration to work for the progress and development of the state. In her remarks, Ferauta, who described her selection as an act of God, thanked Governor Fintiri and the PDP for finding her worthy of the position and assured of her commitment to serve with loyalty, dedication, and fear of God. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Gombe has asked the Abuja Division of the Federal High Court to disqualify Governor Inuwa Yahaya and Deputy Governor Jetau Daniel from contesting in the 2023 governorship election. The party accused the duo of submitting forged certificates. Now, the PDP in its governorship candidate, Mohammed Bade, sought disqualification in a suit between PDP and two others against INEC and others. Now, on behalf of the plaintiff, the party relied on a series of Supreme Court decisions in an originating summons filed by two senior advocates of Nigeria, Arthur Okafor and J.J. Usman. The PDP argued that Messrs. Yahaya and Jetau, having deposed to Forms EC9, the said forms constituted certificates, and making a false statement in them amounted to submitting forged certificates. These, according to the party, is a disqualifying ground under sections 177D and 182(1)J of the 1999 Constitution as amended. In the court processes, the plaintiffs alleged that Jetau bore multiple names like Manasseh Jetau on his certificates, including his primary education certificate. The plaintiffs further contended that the deputy governor, who claimed to have worked with the Nigerian Army from August 1979 to July 1980, submitted an NYSC discharge certificate with contrary information. The plaintiffs alleged that the NYSC discharge certificate indicated that Jetau commenced his NYSC in August 1979 and completed the service year in July 1979. No date has been fixed for a hearing in the suit. The crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress in Benue State took a dangerous turn as arsonists in the early hours of Wednesday set ablaze the residence of a chieftain of the party, Abubakar Usman, in Otukpo, Benue State. Reports say that the residence located at GRA Otukpo was set on fire around 3 a.m. by unknown arsonists. The fire razed the front section of the building, which housed the security post and auxiliary buildings. Abubakar, a one-time senatorial candidate of Benue South, had a few days ago displaced a mock coffin with a condolence register of APC at the front of his house to express his displeasure with the leadership of the party in the state over the choice of a deputy governorship candidate that he and others opposed. Former Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, as well as former governor of Old Abia State, Ogbonnaya Onu, says contrary to reports making the rounds, he has not at any time endorsed the Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi for the presidency come 2023. The former governor, who sought and lost the bid to become presidential flag bearer for the All Progressives Congress, the APC, said his loyalty remains with the ruling party, and as such, all reports of his involvement in any form of anti-party activity should be disregarded. He further stressed in a statement that claims suggesting he endorsed another party are mischievous, wicked, and unfortunate. He therefore advised the public to ensure all claims are verified to avoid spreading fake news. Gombe State government says it has confirmed the outbreak of monkeypox in the state. State Commissioner for Health, Habu Dahiru, disclosed this at the press briefing on Tuesday. Dahiru said the state has recorded 3 positive cases of monkeypox after 19 suspected cases were examined. The health commissioner said the ministry has put necessary mechanisms in place, including surveillance team, to manage the outbreak of the disease across the state.
Declared monkeypox as a public health emergency of international concern. Now, between January 1st and 31st July 2022, Nigeria has recorded over 135 confirmed cases from 26 states of the Federation. And in Gombe State here, we have 19 suspected cases. 3 were confirmed laboratory by PCR. There were no deaths. All the 3 were admitted and discharged, treated and discharged. These cases presented with fever lasting for more than 1 week despite treatment for common causes of fever. They developed rashes on the face and other parts of the body, which prompted suspicion of monkeypox. You will also recall that monkeypox is a rare viral zoonotic disease with an incubation period of 5 to 21 days. The reservoir remains unknown, but African rodents are suspected to play a significant part in the transmission. You may be surprised to also know that monkeys do not transmit it, so because it's called monkeypox, does not mean monkeys are the ones transmitting the virus. In light of the above development, the presence of 3 confirmed cases in Gombe, I declare the outbreak of monkeypox in Gombe State. I have activated the incident management system at the Public Health EOC with full responsibilities for surveillance and effective response aimed at controlling the outbreak.
UNICEF has urged Sokoto and Zamfara states governments to ensure the full implementation of the Sustainability Plan of Girls Education Project JEP3 in order to increase enrollment of girls in schools. The UNICEF Sokoto State Field Office Miriam Dawesh made the appeal during media dialogue on Girls Education Project JEP3 in Sokoto. The report.
Girls Education Project GEP3 is funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK and implemented by the UNICEF in collaboration with the governments of the 6 GEP3 states, which include Bauchi, Kano, Katsina, Niger, Sokoto and Zamfara states. The GEP3 is meant to increase enrollment of girls in schools in the 6 states, with a view to ensuring inclusiveness in basic education for all children from primary to secondary school level. It is against this backdrop that the media dialogue on girls' education is put together by UNICEF in collaboration with the Sokoto State Government for relevant stakeholders, especially media practitioners, to arm them with the knowledge of the Girls' Education Project GEP3 so that they can enlighten people on the project plan, and to also enlighten parents on the importance of the girl-children education and encourage enrollment of girls in schools. The UNICEF Sokoto Chief of Field Office, Mariam Dawesh, pointed out that the Girls' Education Project had enrolled 418,614 girls in schools in Sokoto State, while 545,711 in Zamfara State, but said there is room for improvement. While there's remarkable increase in enrollment in the 2 states, the Chief of Field Office stressed the need for the states to demonstrate leadership by allocating resources, willpower to ensure the sustainability of the project.
The idea behind this media dialogue is to actually bring to the fore the importance of girl education in Nigeria as a whole. And of course, we are in Sokoto here. It's the girl education program called GEP3, which brings us here today. But I think I would like to focus on the larger picture, not necessarily, just GEP3. GEP3 is just one of the organs to make sure that we advocate and deliver girl education in the country as a whole. And of course, for us, we are responsible for right now Sokoto and Zamfara.
Education is an important building block and the most impactful way to empower girls. It influences critical human development outcomes. It reduces inequality. Educated girls are far more likely to be aware of issues surrounding violence and abuse and are less likely to become victims of domestic and sexual abuse or human trafficking. Educated girls are healthy citizens who raise healthier families. Educating women results in promoting self-respect and also helps in raising the status of women. Lower infant and child mortality, as well as maternal mortality rates, are a result of girls' education. And education ensures economic growth.
Participants of the 5 days media dialogue on girl education were drawn from Abuja, Sokoto, and Zamfara states, which are expected to promote the importance of girls' education.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Borno flyover builder goes to school. Do stay with us.
Every patriotic Nigerian should hear this. Any politician who means well for the people will never allow themselves or their supporters to engage in any violent, destructive activities. No politician who truly wants to serve the people and develop the nation will encourage his followers to destroy properties or take human lives before, during, or after the elections. The Nigerian public must watch out for these traits and isolate any politician who encourages supporters to engage in violence. No genuine politician or patriot will cause trouble and seek to destroy the very society which they aspire to lead or develop. Politicians who have the good of the people at heart will not allow themselves or their followers to engage in violence, destruction of properties, and then taking of lives. Be vigilant. By their words you shall know them. Shun violence. Stay away from politicians who want you to do so. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NORA.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust TV News Update, a recap of our major stories. National Broadcasting Commission fines Trust TV 5 million naira for airing documentary on banditry. And NRC suspends train services in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Ajaokuta routes due to insecurity. And to other news now, the Yobe State Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Goni Bukar Lawan, has been killed in a fatal crash. Lawan, who was a former member of the House of Representatives, died in the lone crash involving his vehicle on Tuesday night while on his way to Kano State. Confirming the incident, the Federal Road Safety Corps Commander in Bauchi, Yusuf Abdullahi, said the crash, which was caused by a speed violation, led to a loss of control. Agents sent to AY Dagoda filling station at Dagoda village along Dambam, Batiskum in Dambam local government area of Bauchi State. He said the vehicle was driven by Bukar Lawan, who was with one other male adult who sustained some injuries. Journalists and public relations practitioners have agreed to cross-fertilize ideas to check the menace of quackery in the media space. They are, however, appealing to government to accord the media its appropriate status. Dashin Husseina has more.
There is a growing consensus that systems should be put in place to check quackery in the media industry. The onus is on journalists to bring up the right set of professionals to retool the system. At the head of public relations professionals is Dr. Mukhtar Siraju, who is stressing the need for strategic advocacy. Siraju brings to the fore the challenges journalists face in Nigeria, suing for developmental journalism and conflict-sensitive reporting.
We are here to see how we can partner with the NUJ to ensure that both the journalism and PR professions are rid of quacks. We are prepared to listen to the NUJ, and of course I believe it will also listen to us to see how we can cross-fertilize ideas to fight these menace. Otherwise, we will continue to be embarrassed unnecessarily by people who have no business being anywhere near our two professions.
The national president, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Chris Isiguzo, tasked journalists to shun religion, not pander to political actors, and to discuss Nigeria in earnest. He buttressed the need to change the perception the public has about journalists as communicators by setting a new agenda and applying their roles to the expectation of society.
When Nigeria is divided along religious lines, tribal lines, ethnic lines, political lines, I don't think there has been any time in the nation's history that we've been this divided. But we are not going to give up. I'm an incurable optimist when it comes to keeping hope alive. I believe that all of us together must work together, must join hands and build the country of our dreams.
Journalists have tried to weed out quackery, but the consensus is that there is the need to do more as perception managers. Darshan Hussaina Usman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Mohammed Sani, a 13-year-old boy, caught the attention of the world when he constructed the replica of the new Maiduguri using sticks and mud. He is now placed on full scholarship in one private school by the Borno State government. Kurusi Beatrice has been monitoring the development. He meets the boy to find out the inspiration behind his creativity. The report.
This is the Maiduguri City flyover, first of its kind in Borno State. Its beauty inspired 13-year-old Musa Sani to build a replica of the bridge with mud, cement, paint, and sticks. His parents said Musa has been making wonderful art right from age 5. He loves art, passion for sculpting, and have a dream of becoming a civil engineer someday. When I see something beautiful, I mold it. Like when my mom took me out, we passed the customs flyover. I loved the view, so I went on my own one day, took a critical look of it, then came home and looked for materials to mold it. I wish I could have a big space where I can design lots of things, have a house of our own, and don't walk to school every day. His mother said his talent amazed her and the family. She said he'd never learned designing from school nor textbooks, but does it with passion and accuracy, adding that it is her hope to support him to do more amazing things in the future. He has been designing since at the age of 5. When I noticed the beautiful work, I started buying materials for him. But when he does it, children destroys it. So he keeps it close to his bed. I wish we have the means to get a big house where there is open field so he can continue molding things. I know he's going to become someone in future, and I pray for God's intervention so I can take care of him and my other children. Like every child, Musa hoped one day he will be able to build a house for his parents and a huge company that can support other children's creativity. But for now, he is focusing on the education that will pave way for him to achieve his dreams.
Some cheering news there. Well, let's move to business now. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has lamented the rising cost of diesel, saying it has adversely affected his fish business. Now, speaking during a Southwest Fish Farmers Congress on Tuesday at the Presidential Library in Ogun State, the former president said the high cost of diesel may turn fish farmers into bankruptcy, putting the current price of diesel at 180 naira a liter. The ex-president said the production of a kilogram of fish is 1,400. He said the farmers must not sell less than 1,500, as anything short of that would lead to outright loss. According to the former president, fish production will be out of reach and the people will be producing fish outside Nigeria and dumping it here.
The price of diesel has gone sky high, and it will continue to go sky high because the management of the economy of this country is not what it should be. And it's as simple as that. And what will happen is that particularly those of us who have to use a bit of diesel in producing fish, we will completely go bankrupt. And when that happens, Nigerians will still have to eat fish.
And away from Nigeria, the United States House Speaker Nancy Pelosi departed Taiwan on Wednesday, ending a controversial landmark visit that Beijing responded to with threats and military drills. Meanwhile, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen on Wednesday said at an event with Pelosi in Taipei that Taiwan will not back down and will continue to hold the line of defense for democracy. She also thanked Pelosi for taking concrete actions to show support for Taiwan at this critical moment. Pelosi landed in Taiwan on Tuesday despite a series of increasingly stark warnings and threats from Beijing, which views the island as its territory and has said it will consider her visit a major provocation. And that's about the size of the package this hour on News Update. Thanks for watching. For more news, you can connect with all on all our social media platforms. I am Nten Ekpang. Thanks for watching.